The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
You know, I'll end off with one story. It's always a very moving story to me because I heard about this firsthand. Rabbi Beryl Wine likes to tell over the story that when he was a young boy in the late 40s, he was a young boy in Chicago. And this was after the Holocaust. In 1946, he was 11 years old, and his father told him, you know, a big rabbi is now coming to Chicago to speak to us. And this rabbi was the first chief rabbi of the Palestine, and that is Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Halevi Herzog. And he was a very aristocratic. Yeah, it was before the State of Israel was founded, 1946. And Rabbi Isaac Halevi Herzog was his grandson, by the way, is currently the president of the State of Israel. And Rabbi Herzog comes off the plane. He would wear a shiny top hat, and he had a cane, and he would walk around with his Tanakh. And he gave a shir. He spoke to the young men of the Skokie Yeshiva. He spoke to all the Balabatim, all the entire Jewish community. He gave a 45-minute in-depth shir. And when this class was over, he said, now I want to have a word with the young men. And he says to the young men, listen, you know where I just came from? I just came back from meeting Pope Pius XII in the Vatican. And I came to him with a list. And this list had on it the names of 10,000 boys and girls who during the Holocaust, their parents gave them over to monasteries, to priests, to Christian institutions because the parents didn't think they would survive. And now the parents survived. We know the names of all these 10,000 boys and girls. We want our children back. Rabbi Herzog said to the Pope, give us our children back. They're ours. We know their names. We have their birth dates. We have all their information. At this point, you're kidnapping them from us. We need our children back. And Rabbi Herzog said the Pope slammed the door on his face. He said all these children have been formally baptized. And once a child is baptized, they can never come back to another religion. And Rav Herzog's meeting had ended, and those 10,000 boys and girls were lost forever. And Rabbi Herzog turns to the young men in the Skokie Yeshiva, 1946, and he breaks down crying at the lectern like a baby. Rabbi Wine said he was never so scared in his whole life. This great rabbi is weeping, is crying. He then picks up his head and he says to the boys, there's nothing I can do for these 10,000 boys and girls. They're lost forever. But you're still here. You're still with the program. And I ask of you, what will you do for the future of the Jewish people? And that's the responsibility that every single Jew has today, because we're almost at the finish line. We've made it this far. Our great-grandparents, our grandparents, our parents have hung on until this point. And the responsibility rests in our hands as much as we can to connect to the Torah, to study the Torah, to connect with Eretz Yisrael, connect with Torah and mitzvahs. That is our primary responsibility.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org